For 5,000 years, Stonehenge has stood as a silent enigma on the Salisbury Plain. A circle of giant stones, hauled from miles away, erected by a people with no written language. For what purpose? A temple? A burial ground? An astronomical computer? Countless theories have swirled around this ancient monument. But now, archaeologists believe they've finally cracked the code. Are they right? Let's dive in. Stonehenge. It's more than just a pile of rocks. It's a symbol of ancient ingenuity, a testament to human perseverance, and a giant question mark etched into the English landscape. This video isn't just a history lesson. We're going to explore the latest research, the most compelling theories, and the final solution that some archaeologists are now putting forward. But is the mystery really solved? Let's find out, and you can decide for yourself. First, let's get our bearings. Stonehenge, in Wiltshire, England, isn't a single monument built all at once. It was constructed in stages, over centuries, starting around 3000 BC. Think about that. That's older than the Egyptian pyramids. The earliest phase was a large circular earthwork and ditch, probably with wooden structures. Later, smaller bluestones were brought in, and this is where it gets crazy, all the way from the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 150 miles away. How they did that, with no advanced technology, is a mystery in itself. We'll come back to that. The most iconic phase, the one we all picture, the giant sarsen stones with the lintels on top, that happened around 2500 BC. These sarsens, some weighing up to 50 tons, were likely sourced from nearby Marlborough Downs, but nearby is still 20 miles. The precision with which these stones were shaped and fitted together is astonishing. They used mortise and tenon joints, a woodworking technique, to lock the lintels in place. This wasn't just brute force, this was sophisticated engineering. For centuries, people have speculated about Stonehenge's purpose. Early theories were wild. Some thought it was a Roman temple, or a creation of the mythical wizard Merlin. Later, the Druids were linked to Stonehenge, but that's inaccurate. They arrived in Britain centuries after it was built. The idea of Stonehenge as an astronomical observatory, aligning with the sun and moon, gained popularity in the 20th century. There are definite alignments, especially with the summer and winter solstices, but whether it was a complex calendar is still debated. Archaeologists haven't been sitting idle. Excavations in and around Stonehenge have uncovered a lot of information, but also raised even more questions. The surrounding landscape is littered with burial mounds, or barrows, suggesting this whole area was sacred for a very long time. Analysis of human remains found at Stonehenge shows that people came from surprisingly far away, some even from continental Europe. Were these pilgrims? Were they brought here for burial after death? We're still piecing together the clues. One of the biggest discoveries in recent years is Dington Walls, a large Neolithic settlement just a couple of miles from Stonehenge. It dates to around the same time as the main phase of Stonehenge's construction, and it's huge, much bigger than any other settlement from that period in Britain. Evidence suggests massive feasts took place there, especially involving the consumption of pigs. This points to Stonehenge not being an isolated monument, but part of a much larger complex, possibly involving seasonal gatherings and rituals that brought people together from across the region. And what about the tools? We've found nettler picks used for digging, and hammerstones made of sarsen, used for shaping the stones. Experiments have shown that, yes, you can move and erect massive stones using these seemingly primitive tools, but it would have required incredible organization, manpower, and probably generations of accumulated knowledge. The sheer effort involved is mind-boggling. After centuries of digging, studying, and theorizing, one idea is gaining a lot of traction. Professor Mike Parker Pearson and his team have been at the forefront of this. Their research suggests Stonehenge wasn't just a temple or a calendar. It was a monument to unity, built by a society that was coming together after a period of conflict. The bluestones, remember, came from Wales. The sarsens came from closer by, but still required a massive, coordinated effort. The theory is that different groups, from different parts of Britain, contributed to the construction, literally bringing their ancestors, symbolized by the stones, to one central place. The act of building Stonehenge, the shared labor, the feasts at Dington Walls, it all points to a society that was becoming more unified. And it wasn't just about building. Stonehenge, and the surrounding area, was also a place of burial, a place of the dead. But the way people were buried changed over time. In the earlier phases, cremation was common. Later, inhumation, burial of the body, became more prevalent. This shift might reflect changing beliefs, or changing social structures. It paints a picture of a dynamic society, not a static one. Now, let's get into something a bit more experiential. Recent research has focused on the acoustic properties of Stonehenge. Believe it or not, those massive stones, arranged in that specific way, might have created some very interesting sound effects. Some researchers believe the stones could have amplified or echoed sounds, creating a unique auditory environment within the circle. Could Stonehenge have been used for musical performances? Chanting? Rituals that involved specific sounds or frequencies? We're only just beginning to explore this possibility. It's crucial to remember that Stonehenge isn't an isolated monument. It sits within a much larger landscape of Neolithic and Bronze Age sites. There's the Greater Stonehenge Cursus, a massive earthwork of unknown purpose, just north of Stonehenge. There's Avebury, another huge stone circle complex, about 20 miles away. There's Silbury Hill, the largest artificial mound in Europe. And there are countless burial mounds, settlements, and other features scattered across the landscape. What was the relationship between all these sites? Were they part of a single, unified complex? Did people travel between them on pilgrimages or for ceremonies? Were they used by different groups at different times? The connections are still being explored, but it's clear that Stonehenge was just one piece of a much bigger puzzle, a puzzle that stretches across miles and centuries. Stonehenge today is many things. It is a major tourist attraction, one of the most visited in the UK. Is a protected World Heritage Site. It's a place of ongoing archaeological research. And it's a sacred site for modern-day Druids and pagans, who see it as a connection to their ancestors and a place of spiritual power. These different perspectives sometimes clash, particularly around issues of access, conservation, and the interpretation of the monument's meaning. Even with all the research, all the discoveries, Stonehenge still holds onto its secrets. The unification theory is compelling, but it doesn't answer everything. We still don't know the precise details of the rituals that took place there. We don't know exactly how the stones were transported, especially the bluestones. We don't know why certain astronomical alignments were incorporated, if they were intentional at all. And we certainly don't know what the people who built Stonehenge believed, what their worldview was, what their spiritual practices were, what stories they told themselves about the world around them. The beauty of Stonehenge, in a way, is that it allows for multiple interpretations. It's a blank canvas onto which we can project our own ideas and beliefs about the past. It's a reminder that history is not a fixed and finished thing, but a constantly evolving process of discovery, interpretation, and reinterpretation. And it's a testament to the enduring power of human curiosity, our drive to understand where we came from, who we are, and our place in the universe. Now, it is important to acknowledge other less accepted, but still interesting, theories. Some people believe that Stonehenge had a healing purpose, based on the high number of burials with signs of trauma or illness around the area. Others have associated it with a place of ancestral worship, where ancient Britons would pay respects to their ancestors. And of course, we can't avoid the more out there theories. Some believe that Stonehenge could have been a giant sound system, used to create special acoustic effects for rituals or ceremonies. There's a lot of theories and we can't ignore all of them, but none are fully accepted by most scientists. So, as we approach the end of our deep dive into Stonehenge, it's clear that this monument isn't just a single, static entity. It's a palimpsest, a layered story written in stone, earth, and the remnants of ancient lives. We've seen how our understanding of Stonehenge has evolved over time, from fanciful myths to rigorous archaeological investigations, from attributing it to Romans or Druids to recognizing the ingenuity and complexity of Neolithic and Bronze Age societies. But even with all the scientific advancements, All the excavations, all the analysis, a core of mystery remains. The unification theory, while compelling, doesn't answer every question. The precise rituals performed, the full extent of the astronomical alignments, the beliefs and motivations of the builders, these remain tantalizingly out of reach. And perhaps that's part of Stonehenge's enduring power. It forces us to confront the limits of our knowledge, to acknowledge that the past is a foreign country, and to appreciate the profound sense of wonder that comes from contemplating something truly ancient and enigmatic. Ultimately, Stonehenge serves as a mirror, reflecting not only the light of the sun and the moon, but also our own evolving understanding of ourselves and our place in the vast sweep of history. It invites us to ask questions, to speculate, to imagine, and to connect with the human spirit that created this extraordinary monument thousands of years ago. So, after this deep dive into the heart of Stonehenge, the facts, the theories, the discoveries, and the enduring mysteries, where do you stand? Do you think the unification theory is the final answer? Or do you believe there's more to the story? Are you drawn to the astronomical interpretations, the ritual aspects, or perhaps even some of the more out there theories? The beauty of Stonehenge is that it allows for multiple interpretations, multiple ways of connecting with the past. Share your thoughts, your questions, and your own theories in the comments below. Let's have a respectful and fascinating discussion about this incredible monument. And if you enjoyed this journey into the world of ancient mysteries, please subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more enigmas to explore. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. Give this video a thumbs up to show your support, and share it with your friends who love a good historical puzzle. Until next time, stay curious, keep questioning, and remember, the past is never truly gone. It's always with us, waiting to be rediscovered, reinterpreted, and perhaps, never fully understood.